All right, guys, this one is free things in the UK that cost money in the US. And I'm getting this one from She Runs the World. Yeah, her link will be in the description below. Please go over and show her some love. All right, tell her your island girl sent you. Now, this one came in as a request from one of my regular schmengler to check it out because she said this is more in depth than the one that I did before. Not just the NHS, but more things. And I'm like, okay, let me see what this one is all about. So, with that said, we're going to dive right into this one. Here we go, right about now.
Hey everyone, if you're new here, I'm Brittany from She Run the World, and I'm American living in the UK. Today I'm talking about one of the best things about life across the pond, stuff that's free in the UK but costs money in the US. And I'm not just talking about a few discounts here or there, I'm talking about major life essentials that cost thousands in the US but are totally free or practically free in Britain.
Okay.
Some of these genuinely shocked me when I moved here, so let's dive in. Let's start off with probably the biggest and most controversial one, healthcare. Now, let me start by saying something that I'm going to say at a few different points in this video. I hope everybody knows that when things are advertised as completely free, that's not necessarily true. Nothing is ever 100% free in life. The National Health Service, or NHS, is covered by your NI tax here in the UK, which is honestly crazy expensive. I personally have a pretty low salary, especially by American standards, and my NI tax is £200 a month. So please keep this in mind before I continue on with this point. So no, it's not completely free. You are paying for it to a certain extent, but what is free, if you want to call it that, or I guess what's included in that tax, is literally everything. Doctor visits, emergency care, hospital stays, surgeries, maternity care, ambulance rides, and pretty much everything in between. They're all free at point of use, meaning no surprise bills, no hidden fees, no need to argue with an insurance company over what's covered versus what's not. So think of your NI tax as you paying your monthly insurance payment in the States, but then after that, you never have to pay for anything again. Because for those of you who don't know, you pay a monthly cost just to have health insurance in the States.
Yep.
And then on top of that, you always typically have to pay a copay every time you go to a doctor's appointment or trip to the hospital, something like that. Plus, you'll get additional bills based on what you had done. So if you had a baby, if you had surgery, you got x-rays, whatever it may be, you typically have to pay a certain amount and meet your deductible before the insurance even kicks in and starts to cover costs.
Yep.
And then even then, it's not usually fully covered depending on your insurance. So when you take all of that in mind, it is really nice to just pay that monthly NI tax here in the UK and then know that you'll never have to pay for anything medically related again. Like me, for example, I just had a baby and I didn't pay anything extra compared to if I didn't have a baby. It's just the same monthly tax, no additional bills. I mean, don't get me wrong, the NHS is far from perfect. Sometimes the quality of service is pretty bad and wait times can be an issue, definitely, if you're trying to get something done ASAP. But the security of knowing a health emergency won't bankrupt you really is a relief, and I didn't really appreciate that until I moved here. This next point
Okay, let me say that. Like anything else, like she said, everything has its ups and downs. But guess what? Paying £200 a month is way better deal than paying health insurance here in the US. Knowing that you don't have a bill associated with going to the doctor. After that, you're only paying £200 a month, depending on your income. But guys, I'm telling you, that's a steal, because outside of that in the US, where even after you pay that, like she said, you have a copay. And it depends on what it depends on the insurance, like she said, you have here in the US. You can have a baby and the insurance cover said the baby is 20,000. After having a baby, the hospital bill is 20,000. And your insurance can only pay the insurance would cover 15,000 and you have to find 5,000 out of pocket. That's your copay. So pay £200 up front and don't have to worry. It doesn't matter what major surgery, what do you do, and anything, and not to mention you have to pay for prescription. Oh, that's a steal. And the NHS, oh, my hats to you guys, because that right there is amazing. I don't care if I have to wait long for certain things or I'll accept that any day over what we have here in the US.
And it goes hand in hand with that first point of the NHS, prescriptions. These are a huge expense in the US,
Yep.
even with health insurance, like I kind of mentioned. Unless you have amazing insurance, you typically always have to pay expensive copays, or you have to deal with insurance denials, or just straight up inflated prices for those brand name medications.
Yep.
Some people even have to skip a dose or delay refills because of the cost, which honestly is just so sad when you're dealing with a chronic condition where you really need these meds. But in
Yep.
the UK, the system is really simple and accessible. If you live in Wales, Scotland, or Northern Ireland, prescriptions are totally free. In England, there's a flat fee per item of £9.90 as of 2025, no matter what the medication is that you need. So that's right, whether it's a basic antibiotic or something more specialized, you won't pay more than $9.90. And if you need multiple prescriptions, you can purchase a prepayment certificate that reduces costs even further. This structure makes sure that no one has to choose between their health and their wallet. So that peace of mind of knowing that your medication is always going to be affordable is pretty priceless. Next, we have another.
Hold up. Hold up. She said that, look, everything is good compared to some countries free. Oh my word. Did she just said every prescription out of everywhere else that is free is £9.95 and that's it? It don't go higher than that. It doesn't matter what the prescription. Are you serious? No, I did not know that. I know in some areas in the UK you do get free. Your prescription is free. But that's crazy. That's crazy. That is listen. That's crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. This video indeed is more in depth than the one that I watched before. Cause I'm like, what? Okay, let's continue. Cause okay.
Big cost, university tuition. In the US, even public universities can cost tens of thousands of dollars per year, and private ones are insane. Trust me, I should know. I think the tuition for my private school was about $65,000 a year. That's without housing or food, like just straight up tuition. So a 4-year degree in the States can easily leave you with, $100,000 or even way more in student loans. But in Scotland, if you're Scottish, your university tuition is completely free at public institutions. It's part of a long-standing commitment to accessible education. But again, take this with a grain of salt. It's not just 100% free. It has to be paid somehow, right? So tuition is paid for through taxes. Okay. So basically, everyone in Scotland is paying for your tuition essentially, rather than you just paying for it out of your own pocket like we do in the States. But obviously, in general, the total tuition cost is significantly lower than what it would be in the US anyways. Like in England, Wales, and Northern Ireland, for example, the other counterparts of the UK, for those of you who don't know, university isn't free, but it's still significantly more affordable than in the US. The maximum tuition fee in England is currently £9,250 per year, and student loans don't have to be repaid until you're earning over a certain threshold. Plus, after 30 to 40 years, the remaining debt is usually just written off completely. So compared to American interest rates and aggressive repayment schedules, the UK system offers students a much less stressful financial future. Sticking with
hold up. Did she just said that tuition, you don't have to start paying back until you reach a certain threshold with a certain job that you have? You don't have to start paying back student loan? Are you serious? Did I just hear that correctly? Wow, that to me is still affordable. £9,500. That's amazing. Like here in the US, 100,000 even more, depending on the university that you go to. It all boils down to that. Period. Private. Listen, some student loan debt, you'll be wondering, what on God's earth were they thinking? It's sad and it's disheartening, but it's not. And Scotland is free and it comes out of your taxes. So you don't have to worry. Okay, now. Okay.
The finance theme, let's talk about bank accounts. I know this doesn't apply to all bank accounts, but a lot of times in the US, opening up a basic checking account can come with monthly maintenance fees, minimum balance requirements,
Yep.
Overdraft charges, which are the worst, and even ATM usage fees if you do stray from your bank's network. These hidden costs really add up over time, especially if you're not keeping a close eye on your balance. But in the UK, most standard current accounts are completely free to open and use. There are no monthly maintenance fees or minimum balance requirements, and you usually don't get penalized for accessing your own money through any ATM. Many accounts offer contactless debit cards, mobile banking apps, and some even come with perks like cashback or travel insurance. This approach to banking feels much more customer friendly, and honestly, it was one of the first things that made me feel like I was truly settling in. It blew my mind that you could just go to any ATM anywhere and just get cash out, and there's going to be no fee. Super crazy. The next one is museum.
That's a big one. And I can't, you're paying a service fee for them to hold on to your money in the bank. I could never get over that. I'm like, that's ridiculous. And it has to be a minimum balance in your account. And you're telling me that it is free to even go to the ATM, which is not associated to your bank, and withdraw money, and there's no charge to it. It's free in the UK. Okay now. Okay.
Museums. This one still makes me smile because in the US, visiting a major museum could easily cost you $20 to $40 per person, sometimes even more if there's a special exhibition going on. That means that a little afternoon outing just to go to a museum can quickly turn into an expensive activity. But in the UK, nearly all of the country's top museums are completely free. We're talking about the British Museum, Natural History Museum, Tate Modern, National Gallery, Victoria and Albert, and just so much more. These world-class institutions are open to the public without a ticket fee, making art, science, and history accessible to everyone. Of course, donations are welcome and appreciated, but there's no pressure or paywall kind of stopping you at the door from entering. So whether you're a local looking for a weekend activity or a tourist hoping to soak in all the culture without breaking the bank, UK museums deliver big time and they do it for free, which is amazing. The next one is
even tourists free. Wow, museums. Here, it racks up for if you have a big family. It literally racks up. That is no joke. If you're an outing just to do, it doesn't matter what it is. It's costing you here in the US just to go to the museums. It does. It doesn't, even if it's a national park, it doesn't matter where you're going. It's going to cost you. But to know that it's accessible and it's free in the UK, that's amazing. Now, I don't even know where to go with this because I'm like, my mind is blown with. I've heard some of these things before, but the way she's explaining and going in more in depth, I'm like, okay, I'm loving the UK more and more.
National parks and nature access. Now, this one I love because I'm a huge outdoorsy person. I love hiking, I love camping, I love visiting national parks. And in the US, visiting national parks always involves an entrance fee, sometimes even parking passes and reservation systems. I totally understand that these fees help the maintenance of the park, but they can also create barriers for families and individuals who just want to spend more time in nature but can't really afford it. But in the UK, it works very differently. All national parks are free to enter, and the UK has this beautiful principle known as the right to roam. That basically just means that people can legally walk across certain private lands, including moors, hills, and farmland, as long as they respect the space and follow local guidelines. Public footpaths are clearly marked and incredibly well maintained, encouraging people to explore the countryside. You don't need a car or a permit, just a pair of boots and a bit of curiosity. This open access approach makes nature feel like it's a shared treasure rather than a luxury. It invites everyone to enjoy the outdoors without the price tag or the red tape. Here's an amazing one for expecting parents. If you're pregnant or
hold on. Every time I hear about the free to roam one, it always blows my mind that I can just walk on anybody property. Not any, but just I just can walk on private land and not say that I'm trespassing or get charged or get run off. You're free to roam and explore the countryside. That's, to me, it's just amazing, man. It not in America. You see the big sign, private property, no trespassing, none whatsoever. All you have to do is just respect the people's property that you go on, these open lands. and enjoy nature. Leave it the way you see it. It's my mind is still blown every time I see that one. Every time I hear it, it just unbelievable.
Have had a baby in the last year, you get free dental care and free prescriptions on the NHS. Yep, completely free. That includes everything from routine checkups to fillings and other necessary treatments, plus any medications you may need during your pregnancy or postpartum recovery. You simply apply for a maternity exemption certificate, and it covers you for your entire pregnancy, plus 12 months after your baby is born. In the US, even decent insurance, maternity-related costs can pile up really fast, especially dental that comes with high copays. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, yes.
The UK's approach makes sure that you're not just delaying your care because you're worried about money, because of course you should be always taking care of yourself no matter what, but even more so when you're pregnant and you have another life to think about. It might sound like a small thing, but for new parents or pregnant women who are already going through such a stressful time, it really is a huge relief and one less bill that you have to worry about.
I can't believe that dental is included in your maternity stuff, or when it comes on to your pregnancy. It is free to get dental checkup and all of that. 12 months after that, okay.
Continue with the theme of family support. Let's talk about childcare hours and benefits. Childcare is one of the most expensive costs for families in the US. Like, a lot of times it's so expensive that people have to decide whether one parent should stay home because that second salary is barely covering the childcare costs. So kind of what's the point? But in the UK, the government provides structured, accessible support to help ease that burden. Many families with 3 or 4-year-olds are eligible for up to 30 hours of free childcare per week during term time. Some 2-year-olds even qualify. It just depends on your household income and some specific criteria. That's not just a few hours off. That's a real chunk of support that can allow parents to work, study, or honestly, just catch your breath, relax a little bit. And on top of that, most families can claim child benefit, a monthly payment per child that helps with everyday expenses. It's honestly not massive. It's only £25 a week, but every little bit counts. They literally just direct deposit that into your account every month. And on top of all of that, many local boroughs offer free child health clinics. These are drop-in sessions where parents can have their baby weighed, ask questions to a health visitor, or attend parenting workshops. Classes like infant CPR, baby-led weaning, and labor and delivery prep are some of the pretty common ones across boroughs. And of course, all of these classes are free. There are also feeding and sleep specialists available with anyone who wants to meet with them for breastfeeding help or infant sleep help. This kind of hands-on community-based support goes far beyond what most American families have access to, and it's all free. Again, that's covered in your council tax for the borough that you live in. But again, you're going to be paying that council tax regardless whether you're using any of these services or not. So when you use them, you're not paying anything out of your pocket, and it's a nice perk. One of the most heartwarming.
Listen. I'm flabbergasted. I'm like, and my mouth is like, what in the world? You get free, help your baby have to sleep, help the nursing mother, your new mom, whether new or not, you get. My mind is blown with the access of stuff that you guys have, that you have access to free. Childcare, 30 hours a week. 30 hours a week. Childcare. Free childcare in the UK. You get £25 per child if you need childcare assistance. In America, not in America. Ain't nothing free here when it comes on to childcare. Ain't nothing free here when it comes on to pregnancy. Ain't nothing free if you're taking a breastfeeding class, if you're taking how to get your baby down to sleep. If you have to pay for these other buckets. Even if you have insurance, there is a copay that ends up with everything involved. I'm like, oh my word. Yes, there's you can get on WIC depending on your income in your household. Yes, you can get on WIC, and your child stays on it from 0 to 5 years old. After 5 years old, that child falls off. And if you say you have 10 child, say you have 10 kids and they all get on WIC, depending on, like I said, on your income. It's income based, but it's good because they give you including in that you'll have breastfeeding class, and they'll give you resources and stuff that will help you, and you get voucher, you get to get in fruits and vegetables, you get milk, egg, just essential things for the kid. While you're pregnant, you're also on it, but after you have the baby, you get off a week. So there are some things that do happen here in the US that is for pregnant women, but free childcare, unless you're low income family and they do give you childcare, like a stipend to help with childcare, but it's not, the majority of people do not have access to that. So that right there in itself is just a meh. Oh, child, this is a load of information that is the UK. Oh, baby.
Benefits I discovered is the UK's free bus pass for seniors. Once you reach a retirement age, so 60 in some places, 66 in others, you can apply for a bus pass that gives you unlimited local travel. In London, it's known as the Freedom Pass, and similar programs exist all over the UK. This means older adults can get around for free, whether they're heading to the shops, visiting family, or just going out for a walk in the park. In the US, senior discounts might give you, 10, 20% off a ticket, but full-on free transit is almost unheard of. Not that many people even take public transportation to begin with in the States, but still, this benefit promotes independence, reduces isolation, and helps seniors stay active in their community, which I just love so much. I think it's so sweet. So there you have it. Some of the amazing things that are free in the UK, but would cost a fortune in the US. Again, like I said in the beginning of the video, nothing in life is ever 100% free. Most of these things are paid for by British taxes, but moving here has definitely opened my eyes to how different countries handle healthcare, education, and even the simple joy of going out into nature. So let me know in the comments, what free thing in the UK would you love to see adopted in your country? I can't wait to read your choice. Now let's take a look at 10 free things you can do in London so you can enjoy your time in this magical city without breaking the bank.
That right there was an amazing video. I gotta give it to her. She went in depth and she laid it all out, and I love every minute of it. When it comes on to senior citizen riding public transportation here, they do get a discount, but as for kids from 0 to 18, ride the bus free here, even though they hardly take it. But I just found that out, from 0 to 18, they do get to ride the public bus for free here in Alaska. I'm not sure if that goes for every state, but here in Alaska, kids get to ride the public bus free. The train, no, you gotta pay for that. Senior citizens, I don't think the seniors are free, are they? I don't think so. I think they are at a certain discount, but they don't pay a high price, to be honest with you. But with that said, what would I like to see adopted here in the US? Healthcare. Yeah, take it in the taxes. I am on board with that. Tuition for school. Yes, man. Because these kids are coming out of college so young with so much debt. It's not even funny. It's so disheartening and sickening to know. And then you don't have no time. And then she even goes as far as after 30 years, that debt is just wiped off. When you come out to student loan, it's gone. Not here. Even if, say, God forbid, a child die, the parents is left with that debt. Yep, that loan is left on the family. They better pay it up. So there's no default to it. You have to pay it, and you better get a job as soon as you can to start paying for that job, because to pay for your loan. So that's crazy. Not to mention, I'd love to see museums. I said this in my other video. Museums free here, at least from 0 to 15 years old. Give them the opportunity. Let the parents pay. If you understand, for maintenance, I understand there have to be an upkeep. So adults pay, but children from 0 to 15 free. I think so. At least kids can have the experience and explore. You understand? Instead of families not getting to do anything at all because they cannot afford it. That's That's what I think should happen. Same thing for free to roam, different sites, different areas. People will go out in nature more. Man, she runs the world. I think her name is Brittany. Listen, amazing video, full on amazing. Love every minute of it. Wow. My mind is blown about this parenting and these 30 hours that are given and this free prescription to 9.95 pounds for, it doesn't matter what the prescription is. Blown. Shocker. It's the island girl that I'm running out of here. Thank you, Janine, for recommending this one to me because, I have learned. All this just say, move, pack up and leave and move. It makes life easier. It don't make you feel bottled down and stressed about a lot of things. You can have a sigh of relief. And like she said, everything is not free. There's a cost associated with it. But with what you are paying and getting everything and don't have to worry, I'll pay it any day. Any day. Be good, be kind. Love you guys to the max, and I'll definitely catch you guys in another video. Don't forget, like I said, to hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and go over and show her some love. Tell her your island girl sent you. Bye. Yes, Judy.